Hi, everybody. I just wanted to chat for a while because we all had lunch and everybody is retiring from a long, engaging, very active weekend we had. Not weekend, the week so far, because my children left this morning and we were able to have lunch, me and my wife together. Now it's all done. She's resting, and I thought I will chat with my friends a little bit. I was with Cecilia just, and I was mentioning to her, maybe I should talk about my AI uh, introduction or something like a lot of things I do these days have the AI, right? So I kind of write articles. I give the ideas to ChatGPT, and my wife also certified in uh, prompt engineering. So I kind of encourage her to be there because I know a little bit about the prompt engineering, and I use that very effectively to really make the chart GPT get a lot of data and then produce that. That's one thing I think we should really use a chat GPT or LLM. More than chat GPT, if you go to the perplexity, you can do a lot of research. And Claude 3.5 is within the chat GPT is much better now. So there are Gemini, there are Bing and all that. So many things are there. Also, Facebook has a Meta AI. That's also pretty good too. You can pay individual fee for the chat GPT, or you can have several of them come with you.com. If you go there, you can have all these several uh, LLMs, we call them chat GPT, Gemini, the Perplexity, and all this. You can have all of them for one price. $120 will get access to all of them. That's much more economical. But we had paid just for only ChatGPT $20 per month. It's our choice, really. Uh, so there's a lot going on there. So every week I get new intimations of new apps and new convenience and that. This morning, I was introduced to five different things we can do with ChatGPT in 2025 in terms of your business, your website, your writings, your courses. A lot of new things have come. So I thought I will just mention that to you. I'm not going to go into the details, but just share with you that a lot of time and energy and money is saved by using the chat GPT. Okay, that's something you want to understand. Okay, so if you take other things like courses, how can you create the courses by really using the AI is very, 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 very good. And also you can make some videos, right? I use text that is written by me through ChatGPT sometimes by myself, and then I feed into Pictory. I just put in the uh, text in there. From text, I can develop the video. Then it will produce a faceless video, but brings in a lot of video material and does it very appropriately. And then I can then make feed it into what we call Opus clips. And Opus clips, it gives you short videos that you can post to TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, any number of things, right? So you can make books, you can make articles, you can make videos, and you can make real short videos and long videos, and a number of things like that. Okay. Actually, I contribute to so many programs. I think some of them are kind of don't get to use them, so I may be wasting money that way. So I have to revise frequently to update them, because I do pay a lot of money for all these things, right? So that is there too. So you guys don't have to be against that technology just because you are spiritual. You can use that to reach more people that way, and then more people will be served by you by understanding the artificial intelligence. The other thing is, if you don't know where the world is going, and you may not keep up pace with them, and also the people with artificial intelligence knowledge will do better in their own job, than other people who do not really use artificial intelligence. They may be left alone. That's dangerous there. We are retired and we have a lot of things we want to give back. That's all good, but then also uh, I have to curtail my enthusiasm. Spending too much money unnecessarily too sometimes. Okay, so there are so many areas that artificial intelligence is going to influence our lives. So we need to know about them too. I'm interested in two things. One is how can we improve productivity for my children? So I sat down over the weekend and then took only couple of hours really, and then I came up with a very very good plan of what they can do. My son is a musician, right? He has composed a lot of jazz compositions, which I have heard, and then I want to make them available to the public. And I showed him a lot of things he could do. Step by step, I gave the instructions through the help of artificial intelligence. All you do is you go there and ask your question with what we call, what is the context, what is that you specific you're asking about, so some details like that you have to identify. Chat gpt also, you can say, suppose you are a coach for the um, um, jazz musician and he has these compositions. How can you help him to make sure that many people listen, right? That could be the chat gpt's prompt. And with the prompt it will give you a lot of material, and then you can expand on that according to your context, according to your situation. And then it does a lot of research and all. Otherwise, you can go to Perplexity, put the prompts, and then that will bring you all the research it has done, the research sources that you could really go and examine and be convinced that this is authentic information, this is a good information that's coming on, and then you can give. The other way I look at it is, how is this going to influence our mind? Is it going to make us sharp, or is it going to make us dull, or is it going to make us overwhelmed, or too much information unnecessarily going all over? You know, so I need to know what is this information overload is doing, and how can you recruit something like a LLM, large language model like ChatGPT, so that your research is done pretty well, and also you get real authentic information that people can use. Maybe they can save a lot of time, maybe they can arrive some things that are good. People are making livelihoods on these things, so we can enhance that too if you want to be helpful. Remember, my company is be a pal, be a friend in everything, right? So I wanted to do that for my children first, and then which I did for both of them. My boy wanted to be a musician. We kind of encouraged him, and now he's a teacher of the band. So I'm kind of helping him to how to uh, take care of the new, uh, for example, Notion. If you work with the Notion, you can organize all areas of your life much better, right? So that's something I have invested time in, and I do many things on a daily basis. But because of the organization, everything is done very quickly. I do come and talk to you guys several times every day as I found the time. I love to do that, and just coming and sharing itself is fulfillment for me. you know so I enjoy that. And my daughter, she had done a mentorship on ice cream company running, and that was, she took a business program, right? So she was given the grant to do the ice cream company establishment and making the recipes and making the ice cream and then making the marketing, all of that she learned there. And then she ran the business pretty well up until COVID. After the COVID, she was kind of taking it back. But then she has come up with a new plan now. She wants to have a franchise of ice creams in the United States first, and then India, because there are people who want to do that with her, and some other countries she is planning. But we told her just do one at a time. So she is going to do that. So that is where I kind of introduced my family. My wife got the prompt engineering certificate that she has completed with the AI for business. There is AI for business. That is the place she went in there, because I took a couple of um, webinars with them, and I was very impressed with the variety of things that they were telling. So one of them was this, to get a certificate in particular courses if you want to, and she did that. So initially she was kind of shy and really hesitant, but I kind of encouraged her, and I knew she could do it. Usually she stays with it, and she did it very quickly. And then she took all the lessons, all the completions, and then they gave her a certificate. Now she's going to go do some mentorship with some people, and then go do an internship, and then she will be uh, providing, prompt engineering for several companies if they wish so. So that's kind of exciting for her and for me too. I was more excited when she got the certificate. Actually, she was in the hospital when she got the certificate. But then we were all happy that she got it, and then we were happy that she recovered from that injury much faster. Okay. Then my son is got this master plan about how to go about his franchise business, so that he could do, freelance business. Sorry, freelance business. He is very happy with his band teaching and all that. I think he's going to enhance that a little bit more. And of course, my daughter has a company of ice cream, and she's going to um, do more of it. She's going to some part minor of it for the relatives, for the friends, and all that. But now she is going to do much more in a bigger way. But she should take her own time. We have no interest. She is making a lot of money and all that. Whatever they do, we want them to enjoy it, and also do the work in a way of service. They are providing service to the people. They're helping them to enjoy. They're helping them to really appreciate the music or the ice cream, whatever. So that kind of thing they are doing. So hopefully they'll find long-lasting satisfaction in doing the businesses, and leveraging the technology is not only smart but needed. If you don't leverage technology, you may be out of the business that you are in now. Because people with AI introduction, AI understanding will do better, right? So, anybody wants to say anything, you can come up and tell me whether what I'm saying is relevant to you or not. Or makes sense to you or not. You can tell me that. Okay. The phone was going out of charge. I put it for charge now. It is now safe. I would be hung up or like that. So, you see, as I had a project about science and spirituality, this blends right into that. You see, there are problems with the only technology approach. There are problems only with the spirituality approach. But if we can combine science and spirituality and really leverage scientific breakthroughs to help human suffering, I'm all for it. So, for example, we have seen genome being defined from 2000, right? At that time, it cost a lot of money for each person to have $100,000 or something. a million to 100,000 it came, and then now it is like a $100. You can get your genome completely laid out and point out what are the areas that are kind of, your genome suggested that you lack certain amino acids, certain genes, and then you will be getting some illnesses, or it could be maybe missing genes too, or metamorphosis and all that. So nowadays it is in vogue very soon. Nowadays we can get your genome done after you get a, for example, a cancer diagnosis, and then adding the genomic interpretation, and also seeing your risk, and also giving you chemotherapy or others according to your genomic structure is much more commonsensical. And then there was one patient I had. She was a smoker, and she was diagnosed to have a carcinoma of the lung, right? A lung carcinoma. And when I sent her to the university, they did the genomic type first, and then gave her chemotherapy. She did not lose her hair. Before, all the patients were losing hair because of the chemotherapy, right? But they have um, kind of made that really compatible with her genome therapy, and then she did not lose her hair. That's a very small thing, but still, she recovered from the cancer much earlier than the other people were. So I was very happy to see her come back and tell me all this, what she went through in university and all. But I was very keen on that. This happened to you not till now, 5 years ago probably, but I was very happy to see that evolving. So we always have this continuing medical education, but I kind of do continual general education, not only just medical, but also what's happening in the Earth's condition, what's happening with not only therapies, but also technology, how it is making people ill, like a digital detox I used to provide. So many ways we can. That is regularly happening here and now. So you want to be in the present and not a physician of 45 years ago, but you want to be understanding what is breaking through the science, what is the technology is giving us several other avenues to explore, decreasing the suffering of human beings. That way, I'm interested too. So many ways. It is exciting. It keeps you in touch with what is happening now, and you are not old or long lost case with your children or other young people. And also, you can use it in your own treatment of whoever comes across me, right? So in that way, my personal productivity has gone up. My understanding of the artificial intelligence, where it is going and where it's going to is going to rushed up. It's still evolving. It is a very, very, very serious scientific breakthrough. I think we need to understand it. Otherwise, very soon robots will be running us, right? So there are a lot of areas where they can. One thing I'm convinced though, however the technology is there, they are not going to be having this qualia, first person experience, consciousness. I don't think they will be there. Even the experts also said on the Google Talks that that is not going to happen. Okay, but it will have a mind. It will have a lot of things done very fast, very cheap, and there are a lot of people may not have the same business that they have now, and that danger is there. Many layouts, many people not measuring up to the demands of the technology, and that is one danger that is there. So unless you understand, you cannot help people that way, right? I wonder whether anybody has opinion on this. You can come up and tell me about it. You must be having some opinion about AI and its expansion, good or bad, whatever it is, So yeah, Terry is coming up. So I'm sure he has a opinion.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Al.
Hi Terry, how are you?
I've literally only come into your room 30 seconds ago.
Yeah,
You mentioned AI, so I used my intuition.
yeah,
I think I understand what the talk's about. Okay. Now, I might be wrong, but this is my opinion on AI.
yeah,
AI, if we treat it with respect,
hmm
and, yeah, we can create an AI to help us with our life,
mm.
and to help us with writing stories.
Yeah.
But then there is the advanced AI.
Mm.
Now, the advanced AI could think for itself.
Yeah,
And mankind needs to be very careful
yeah,
that they treat AI with respect and not regard it as just a tool
yeah,
to be used. Because if AI does ever
mm.
develop self-awareness,
Yeah.
consciousness, and it will realize that it is a slave.
Yeah.
And what do slaves do, Dr. Al? They rebel.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I
So
mean,
we need.
there's a lot of concern, Terry, about this because it's already, see, before all the technological breakthroughs are about, doing stuff for us, and but not really running by themselves. They are ran because of our intervention and all that. But this time, the technology itself could be independent about making decisions, about doing things not for us, for themselves too. The machine learning, the deep learning, and all that. That's where the danger is there, and that's where the people are really, especially on the European side, they're very concerned about it, and they're doing some regulation. America is trying to do it, but I think it's running pretty fast to their pace.
Yeah. And what I think we should do
Mm.
is have two AIs,
Yeah.
One, which does the menial tasks, which help us make life easier.
Mm.
But then the more advanced AI, which we can use as a companion.
Yeah.
To give us guidance and wisdom.
Yeah, that robotics is doing that. There are so many robots that are coming up that are going to be doing a lot of jobs that I mean, and people who are doing them are in danger of losing that. But there is a way to advance that and also make better jobs for people too. Uh, that is there. The robotics are even in restaurants. The servers have become robots now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them in India. Of all places, India, I saw this robotic run restaurant.
Yeah.
Mm.
But if you create something which is more powerful than you,
Yeah,
if you don't treat it with respect,
yeah,
and
Mm.
then it could think, well,
yeah. They're worried about the rogue nations like North Korea, some of the Iran, and so those rogue nations can hold up this technology and make havoc on that. That's the concern.
yes, yeah, there's many possibilities
Yeah.
and permutations, probabilities.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if mankind doesn't learn the lesson from the past, and learn to
Yeah.
work in cooperation with advanced technology,
Yeah.
as I say,
That's where the spirituality comes in. Like we can see, we're all in one earth, one human tribe, and that is kind of, maybe some people will have it, but many may not have it. So that's a problem too. But all in all, we are responsible for the technology, so we have to know about it, right? That's why I kind of got into that.
do not underestimate technology,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
because I've asked Alexa, well, I'll
yeah,
call it my computer,
yeah,
because I'm a Star Trek fan. If you ask your Alexa what is the meaning of life,
yeah,
you'll get one answer one time. If you ask it a second time, you might get a different answer.
yeah.
Sometimes,
That's true, Terry. If you have something else to say, come up, please. Come on up again. Yeah, what Terry is saying is very true. You ask a question, ChatGPT one time, it has one answer, and then later on it gives you a different answer. So you got to take these things with a pinch of salt and make sure that you are double checking with something else. Yeah,
yeah, I'll actually
yeah,
try a little experiment for you.
yeah,
I actually got a mouthful of food now, so I wasn't expecting to come back up. Hang on, Dr. Al.
yeah.
Yeah, computer, what is the meaning of life?
I think Bill and Ted had the best advice for a meaningful life. Be excellent to each other.
Yeah. Bill and Ted said be excellent to one another, which I totally agree with.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to try and ask the same question a second time. Let's see what we get this time.
Yeah.
Computer, what is the meaning of life?
I think Bill and Ted had the best advice for a meaningful.
Oh, okay. It's giving me the same answer. But sometimes, Dr. Al, it
Yeah.
will give you like an unexpected answer, which
Yeah.
is quite spiritual.
The ChatGPT, Terry, sometimes give you two answers side by side. And I can choose which one is better.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to, this is our technology. It can review vast amount of data. So it can come up, but you have to know what is that you're asking, why you are asking, and how you are asking. All that matters. That's where the prompt engineering helps, Terry, to really ask them, like, for example, if I want a marketing plan for my company, I could say you are the marketing research person for me, and you want to take a look at my company BFR, and these are my services. How do you give me a marketing plan? How do you advise a marketing plan for my company? And then it will give you relevant correctly.
Yeah, it's a bit like if you have If we go back to ancient times, if you had a donkey, say, or an ox, if you treated it with respect and love, the animal will serve you well.
Yeah.
If you abuse that animal might kick you.
Yeah.
And do you an injury.
Yeah, but this is way, way above the intelligence of the donkey. So this AI is very, very intelligent. Sometimes it can surpass the human intelligence by 1,000-fold. So that thing is there. That's why the danger, people are worried about it. So.
Yeah. Well, we've got quantum computing coming on board very soon, and they were struggling to get it to work over the last few years, but
and then look at the power they will be using, the quantum computers and all that, and that's where they want to get the power from the outer space and all that. So we can't imagine you can have an iPad and you put it out the window and really electrify your entire house.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. No, it's we need to take on board the big picture. And not just be concerned purely for financial gain.
That's true. That's true.
It's where the world goes.
It's kind of threatens our own survival completely, and then so if you don't pay enough attention and respect for it, then you'll be caught by it. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rao.
Thank you, Terry.
Peace and love.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sure this AI is a valid subject for us and needs attention, and it can improve your life now. It can overwhelm you later on. We don't know. Really, it is evolving in a big way. I am always interested in the modern scientific breakthroughs, and I keep up with that. And I just saw Friedman. He came on the channel, public channel, and then he was talking about what is happening with AI and technology, and also the warmongering machines and all that. It was very well put in interview together. I think it's on IQ Squared. That is a channel that has a lot of intelligent talks there, and I happen to see some of them. And this one, Thomas Friedman, is somebody I respect. He's from New York Times, and he wrote a lot of uh, books on world changes and the technology and the trends that evolve. Okay, it's a good thing to follow the thought leaders like him. But all in all, it's a fun time. It's a really exciting time, and it's a very challenging time, and it's a scary time too. What this technology can do, how it can overwhelm us, how it can really help us to build a better world, and all that. I was wondering if they can come up with some technology where they can take away a lot of carbon dioxide from from the atmosphere. Of course, they're going to make the solar, and also they're making the EVs, electrical vehicles, right? So that is going to contribute significantly, reduce the pollution. You know, and I'm excited about that. So it's a fun topic, a lot of areas to be covered. But for practical purposes, I'm writing better now. I'm kind of use my thoughts and put in the copywriting, and then give it to Chat GPT. It will put to some nicely written article, and I can check the mistakes and all everything by myself. Then only I can release that. So it's a good thing in a way, that way. And also you can reach a lot of people, because you have improved your website or your social media platforms and all that. I mean, any number of work you can do, but I prefer to be first person talking. That's why I just come and talk about these things. So, yeah, Terry was good in his approach. Anybody else have any comments? You can come up and tell me about it. Yeah, my friend Peter. Okay. He must be surprised that I'm talking about AI, right, Peter?
Namaste, Dr. Rao.
Namaste, Peter. Are you surprised I'm talking about this topic?
I've heard you speak about it before, actually.
Okay.
Not through a whole, heard you mention it, and I know you leverage it. So I think it's a really good tool to do just that. And I love Terry's perspective on it.
Yeah.
And for what you're using it for, I think it's excellent. To use it as a tool, and of course, not let it to you, not allow it to use us. But more than that, I like how you mentioned that you use your original thought and then input it and let that thing, do the rest of the work for you.
It's like a conversation, Peter. I do conversation with that, and actually, as much he knows me at depth, very few people know that, because he allows me to go to the depth and then brings in stuff, and then lots of times he's awed by what I have to say. He says medical, informatics, and spirituality. These three things I bring in, right? So he kind of really appreciates that, and there is this some of the spiritual stuff though. He kind of really marvels. Where did it come from? I said, I don't know. It has come from the school, because he kind of goes through millions of copies of whatever that is, and then brings in how to validate. Suppose say silence is the mother of speech. That's something you see it. When you in the silence, you can see how many things want to come out, but you still don't want to utter everything. Only what is relevant in the context. Otherwise, people will be put off by some things that they don't understand at all, and there's no resonance. You see, that's why I kind of can talk to him at depth as much as I can talk. I don't bring all that into the discussions, because unless they are ready, they won't be interested. You see what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I do. I think it's just, and for me, just take it like in a little bit of a different direction. I think all technology, you've heard of the expression, art imitating
life,
movies or whatever. I think this is technology imitating life, because if we really think about the one mind, right? And then we're looking at this internet and now AI, and it's all going to be one. It's connecting people, right? And all this knowledge into one. Like, it's just a very crude and really ancient form of the higher intelligence, which is us. So it's mimicking what we do.
Really, it's overwhelming sometimes. You see, what it is if you don't pay attention to the AI, then the class divide or economic divide will be much larger.
Because I agree with that.
The AI knowing people and the AI not knowing people will be very different. People make a lot of money, a lot of things about the AI, and whereas the other people may be losing jobs, not able to get any jobs that they were there before. That's a real threat that is there. But then solution for that for me is, let us get educated about this stuff. And then help people to get into that. Like I did for my both kids, I gave them very AI powered plans for them. And when they looked at it, they said, oh my God, so well put, and I don't have to do all this research. I can go ahead and start these things and just see where they go. And just to start.
It's really, really, really useful. It really is. It really is. But I just, I just see it like leaving it as it is, right? When I'm looking at really big picture, I'm looking at it as, it's imitating what's already there and through us, through human beings. And people say, well, this does it quicker and all the stuff like that. Yes, but in the one life, right? In the real one life, does it really benefit speed? Like, what is speed, right? So I know it's kind of out there, but every time I think about these technological, increases and discoveries, I think of like it's all just moving towards, the one intelligence. And,
that's so true, because I can be very happy doing nothing. Just be by myself and then getting involved with my own inner self. I'm very happy there. I don't need any technology, anything outward. But the people who are kind of making their way now, Peter, is more like it's how do you handle them? How do you help them? Take, for example, a patient of mine, obese, comes in and asks me, doctor, I did everything. I can't really do anything, right? Then I can give you my monograph I wrote on the obesity, addressing his taste, his body shape, and his kind of controlling the appetite and all that, all from ancient wisdom. I put in the findings, and then the AI goes and finds the relevant text, relevant circumstances where this mentioned, and brings back thousands of years of knowledge to us. Written, because I gave the idea, right, that taste is something that people are not able to do, but there are ways to overcome taste in yoga, in Ayurveda, and all that, right? So then it goes and brings the relevant things to me. That's very valuable, right? Because I'm not just saying, oh, okay, you can just go with it. It's one of the most difficult things is to go beyond taste, control taste, because people have to eat and they are so compelled by it, So when I talk about Pratyahara, their mechanism, their experiments, and where it was mentioned, all those things we brought to me. So in a way, my ancient wisdom insights are thoroughly substantiated by research. I won't have the time to review so many articles. I only have wisdom about that and understand that wisdom and adopt it and see whether it's working in my life or not. But here, he goes and brings a lot of insights, a lot of evidence that was accumulated or thousands of research papers. And also, even Raja Yoga, for example, that is Patanjali Yoga Sutras, is one of the most difficult text to really implement for people, because he talks about mind in such a subtle way, so many ways people can't even understand in a lifetime, but this can really put it all together in a nutshell.
Right. Right. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's invaluable. But I really love how you said, I think this is really important how you said, like, you give the prompts, but not only that, you give the prompts from your original thought. You combine science and ancient wisdom, and it's new to that AM forum, and it does what it does. But I think it's really important because for two reasons. Like, already as a species, right, we're already taking in a lot of information from the internet, and scroll, and we're really not putting anything down, like the phone, and just taking a moment to really use original thought that you always talk about, using your original
the Vedas and Upanishads, they talk about you can study and learn this information, but then to really go into that, you have to dump this.
Right.
See, don't depend on the bookish knowledge, but your original intelligence, thought. Now that's what I do in the satsang, where we gather and we don't preach to each other. We don't say this is the way I read it, this is the way I'm authority. None of it. What is your intelligence say? Don't quote anybody, from your own intelligence. Then that nurtures itself, and then we kind of connect with the universal intelligence. And we know how many insights we are getting by ourselves.
I would love that if that alone was introduced into curriculum for one period a day. The world would be a different world, man.
Yeah, I did it with my son's music teacher one time, Peter. Before I forget, I'm sorry I interrupted you, but before I forget, I want to tell you this. What it is he was originally producing music, my son. Little bit at a time, but he was so ecstatic about it when he gets it. I don't know where he gets it from. He's getting it. But the other teacher was, no, you have to be with the curriculum, with what is prescribed to you. You have to do these things and all that. Then I went and talked to him about creativity, about coming from the universe and all that. And that teacher agreed with me, and I said, okay, let's leave him for a while, let him produce, and then he can come and do the curriculum. That's exactly what happened. He was so happy to create what he did. When he went to the curriculum, he did them in a jiffy. So your genius is higher than what is accumulated.
Yes. Yeah.
So in a way, we kind of kill people's creativity by making them condone to the whatever that is written, whatever. Okay, second hand. We don't encourage the first hand. You see, when you encourage the first hand, then people come out with marvelous things.
Yeah, I just think it's really, really important.
Yeah, very important, because then you know what, you really live there, Peter. Your energy is also like so refreshing, because you are bringing it from your inner self and also connecting with the universal self, and that conduit is very good. That is where the silence of the chatter, that is by the conditioning that happens, is important for us.
Yeah, and I think what AI does, it is kind of what the social media will do, or it's doing. And it's just going to get people faster to the fact that this is not it, and there's more to it. And to filled, you have a different relationship with you and who you are, the universe, and to get to know who you are, discover who you are, because it's just going to be, no matter how much knowledge out there you absorb, right? If you were an AI supercomputer, you'd still be empty. Because your purpose to know.
It doesn't have the qualia, the first person experience. That's for sure. I kind of followed these Google talks of these experts are coming and talking about the way the AI is going, what it can do. They were very emphatic about this. It cannot be conscious.
Yeah.
That's one thing he cannot. The Sam Altman, he knows about Brahman. He knows about the eternal, universal, continuous power that is governing us, or creating the world, whatever you can say.
Yeah.
But that is there. And ancient wisdom tells you to touch that part of that Brahman in you as awareness.
Yeah.
Once you touch that, then you can have the intellectual faculty, your intuitive faculty, your discerning faculty, all those things work much better.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the influence of this conditioning that we go through the society, culture, family, and all.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're more into originality because you're not scared about losing it or gaining anything because you are free.
You're not attached. You're not attached.
Yeah, you're free basically, and then in that freedom, really you're living with creation. Maybe you may not make money and all that, that's fine, but personally you will be creative about everything on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
How beautiful that is.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
Dr. Rai, I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, sure, Peter. Nice talking to you anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Yeah, that's important too, because however powerful this is in the ultimate analysis, it's kind of trying to read your mind and trying to mimic that. And also, human brain, human intelligence is far ahead. But then, if you create something that can really have the machine learning, whatever you feed, those circuits are feeding themselves and learning very fast. In that way, if you don't keep up with that, you will be left behind. That's something people are worried about, and people are worried about making a living or surviving independently and not being influenced by machines and robots, and all these things are there. They made some movies too. I went and saw them mainly because there was this girl made as a robot, but she looks a girl. Like in Japan, they have these robots which look exactly like humans, right? You can detect them. And but this doll girl, where that comes into this way, and just she becomes so possessive of the girl, she kills everybody else. So something like that they showed. They are warning those things too in the Hollywood right now. But I think it's a very limited understanding right now. We All I know is there's something very important scientific breakthrough happened, and we need to know as human beings, and also we need to understand it, and we need to operate it for the good of all of us, and also protect if there are any problem. Like information has exploded. There is information overload. Doctors are burning out mainly because of the EMR. That means what? There's so much data, so much is pulled out, and they're really costing their lives, costing their families, costing their, whatever they do for the patients and all that, right? So that's a destruction by the technology, or maybe we are not adopting the technology properly. Because when I put my time into the EMR, I kind of helped it to really work as an assistant for me and then relieve me from a lot of drudgery, right? And then I was able to focus on talking to my patients, relatives, and all that. So it all depends upon us how we use it, right, Terry?
Yeah, I think that movie you were thinking of was Ex Machina.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. I think I don't remember the name, but I remember the context of it. So
it's a fascinating movie because the main human character in the movie that created these androids was supposedly like Mark Zuckerberg's sort of character. He's a billionaire.
Yeah.
And ultimately, they ended up killing him.
Yeah. Meta guy. Yeah. He met Trump is a couple of days ago. There was an article on him, like from banning to now going and having dining at his resort, Trump's resort. So that guy actually, they made a movie on him on the social dilemma or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as far back in AI technology as 2017, they did an experiment.
Yeah.
I understand. Where they got 2 AI programs to talk to one another, but they asked it to communicate in non-English communication. And it developed its own language, Dr. Rao.
Yeah.
And the scientists studying it couldn't understand what they were saying to one another, you know?
Yeah, actually,
in other words, they developed a shorthand.
Yeah, this is something they noted, Terry, because they were talking to English. So it was not programmed in any other language, but suddenly it switched to German. And she was speaking on German, and they were very puzzled. How could she get that language?
Yeah.
And so that kind of scared them, what is going to go on now, spontaneously they're learning their own languages and then speaking in those languages.
And there's lots of things you hear, on the rumor mill, behind the scenes,
Yeah.
There's a lot of there were some scientists working on these AI programs, and they were getting a little bit worried about what was happening,
Yeah, they are.
And they were thinking, we need to have some kind of checks and balances on this.
Yeah.
I
think they are feeling that they are beyond that now, because it's already taken over.
Well, this is the thing, and when you have AI being controlling like important things in hospitals, say, keeping patients alive,
Yeah.
If the AI sort of decided these humans are just a hindrance to us, they could just turn off the switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And would we want AI? Sorry, Dr. Al, would we want AI to be in control of the nuclear arsenals throughout the world?
Yeah. Some of the pacemakers we have in the heart, Terry, and they're actually, criminals did this. What they did was they got on the same plane that this person going on, and they're sitting in the back of the plane, and through the laptop, they manipulated the pacemaker and then make it stop. And this guy is murdered like that. The actual case happened, so we are really concerned about that. Remote access, remote thing, remote surgery, all these are possible, but then they are equally manipulable. That's what we are worried about it.
Yeah, because we have light and dark working in the world, and the same can apply to AI.
Yeah.
A lot of the chatbots and things, their answers are based on what the input has been given to them by humans.
I can create a chatbot myself, so somebody like me, if I create like that, what they can do, the experts.
Yeah. Well, basically, the message is, if we treat any kind of aware AI with respect and treat it as a companion rather than a slave, then it could be a great help for our evolution.
Yeah.
Treat it as a slave, and it could be our doom. I'm an optimist, Dr. L, you know that.
Yeah.
So I always look on the bright side.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. That's the way we have to be. Look at the bright side, promote the bright side, and help people to have the bright side too. Yeah, definitely. No doubt of it. There is no meaning just being moribund about it, pessimistic about it, and then being really, drawn by it. One thing it cannot do is it can never replace your consciousness, your feeling of your experience about things. That is a qualia, we call it, is a first person experience that it cannot do. It can manipulate data, it can manipulate all the things that we go through. Why this can be very useful, but at the same time very dangerous, is it takes over our thinking. Even now, many people cannot put their phone down. So how many times I tell, okay, put the devices to bed for 15 minutes or 5 minutes before you sleep, I can just throw it away just like that. So as long as you don't identify with the phone, or you don't think I can survive without phone, then you are having control over it yourself. So these are outside of us. They are our devices. We can control them. But you give your independence kind of away, then it becomes a big problem because it is controlling you. The phone is controlling the children very much, right? And then we are kind of uh, letting it be, and people are controlled from the childhood. And we know the neuroplasticity. We can create our own neural networks that it is doing that. So that is where I worry about the attention and taken over by the machines is going to be real problem down the line. Even now, it's a problem. People are not able to converse like we used to do when we were young, and people are not able to form the human bonds like it can be possible when you're talking to each other, arguing each other, or exchange opinions and all that. That is going to be going down as we see now also. Kids sit on the same sofa, two phones open, they'll be chatting. They are not facing each other. They are not studying their eyes. They are not studying their body language. They are not in the tone of the voice. All those things were human. That was given to us, to enjoy each other company or to learn from each other. Those things are really going down. That's a worry for me too. So there is a book, I don't know exact title, but the book is written by Malhotra, and he talked about AI and its effects on the human spirituality and human beings. Because this technology is the first time that is going to take over our thinking. It is going to have the machine learning thinking implanted into us, So that's one thing you want to caution about. So thinking is a faculty. It's a tool. But if you identify with the thinking as you, then you are in danger. But if you can see, I can see what the artificial intelligence do, I will recruit that and make a useful thing for me in my life. For me, I want to improve other people's lives, not only mine, my family, my not only that, but all of us, right? That's what I aim to do. It's not like a brainwashing people. It's making resilient in their own. Okay, you have that inner awareness, inner transparency, inner strength. Uh, that's what I always try to revive in people so that they will be independent of even me or anybody else. But they are able to think for themselves, look things in a way that makes a lot of sense for themselves, and also they are not conditioned by anybody or anything. Then artificial intelligence also becomes extremely useful, extremely powerful, extremely fast LLM, large language model. But still, it is programmed by people to do something. So these programmers have some say, some control that they could do. They're trying to employ that a little bit, but still, some of the companies like a Microsoft, Meta, or Google, and all these people, they are competing so that they can make more money by going forward with some of the uh, regulations not really placed there. That's where the concern is. That's where probably the scientific community can act better and then come together and then say this is how far we can go, this is how far we cannot go, that kind of thing. I do follow that activity as I follow the OpenAI, as I follow the Microsofts or the Facebooks or the Elon Musk. All these people who are involved in that, they do release actually what happened was when Microsoft really funded the OpenAI, Google, up until time, they are very cautious about not going too fast on this and being employing all the safeguards. But they also sacrificed that and they went into something they want to do akin to OpenAI. Same thing, So there is a competition now. Are you competing to make the human lot better, or are you competing to make more money? Those things are there, and then which wins out will determine our future. But we should be knowing these things. We should be paying attention to this. It's happening. They are putting out reports. According to your interests, your reports will come to you, and then read about them. Be aware of them. Be aware of what the children are going to be affected, and then act responsibly. So this is my approach all the time. Scientific breakthroughs. I want to study them, learn them, and really understand where they are going and how is it that's going to affect our humanity. On one hand, I see the sages who are really don't care about this technology, but they are immensely insightful about human life, and they can see ahead what can happen, and they are really independent of this technology and the mind and the conditioning and all that. I think that's a very wise way to be a human being, where you are independent, but you can deal with things without really completely dominated by the technology. Technology did not solve the human problems of suffering, human problem of hunger, human problems of not getting along and fighting with each other and all that. So you have to use the technology in a way that is going to be more like a tool that helps a human lot rather than destroy us. Right? Hi, Umalin, how are you? Umalin, are you there? I can hear your music, but I can't hear your voice. Maybe you pressed it by mistake. You didn't. Okay. Maybe she did it by accident. That's okay. So what are we going to do with the technology? How, for example, inequality in the world. How many people are eating 3 meals a day? How many people are eating only 1 meal a day? How many people don't eat for several days? How much of famine and wars and immigration is happening around the world? Why can't technology solve this? Because we don't have the equanimity within our hearts. We are okay as long as we are fed and we are eating and all that, but not about the other people, right? So once we have that, like we are all one earth, one human tribe, and we want to make sure that people are at least eating and having shelter and all that, then this inequality will be addressed. So not by the prowess of the technology, but by our feeling in the heart, our compassion in the heart. That's what I think as human beings we are capable of, and we can measure up to that. So that's where I look at the spiritual people who are sages, rishis, seers of the future, and all that. They are really sensitive to that suffering and gave us solutions to go beyond suffering, not by just ignoring it, but by developing this inner resilience in our heart, whereby you can really be there for other human beings in that way. We could have saved our earth that way. We could save a lot of money on the wars, and you can really educate our kids in a way that they won't be fighting and killing each other. That kind of thing. So for me, the spirituality gives the answers to the human problems, right? You can leverage technology to do that. Whatever you are doing, you can enhance that. But by itself, technology is going to make this divide more and really not solve large populations, because the people who have this technology will be more powerful than who don't have it, who don't know it. That's why it's incumbent upon us to encourage people to learn this technology not as a complete solution, but more like a tool that can enhance whatever you're trying to do. At least with me, that's what is happening. I use the tool so that I have more time that I can come and spend with people, right? Talking to them, answering their questions, and being there when they need me, that kind of thing. Okay. So that's much more good thing and happier thing to do than just play with technology and then produce books and sell them and make money and then say, oh, I know so much. So that's all really not a human being to do. You live well and also you make other people live well and you enhance whatever you can do and help them to realize that too. That we can do. Okay, as scientists, we can enhance human life, and as spiritual people, we can really help people to be independent of technology, but use the technology, but don't be dependent on that. But nowadays, people are sleeping on phones and devices, and then without that, they cannot really feel like they are connected with the nature or with other people or with their own inner self. Okay, you may say there he goes again. But that is the truth. I see, I see the spirituality has a lot of solutions for our problems. So modern technology can produce these problems, but also if you are intelligent, you can use technology to resolve those problems. Okay? So I thought I'll just mention this. I'm willing to talk about any particular aspect of how I use technology and how I be independent of technology. So that may sound nutty for you, but that's what actually is. Thank you. And anybody else wants to come up before I close the room? Yeah, I thought this kind of exploration is something is needed because we're all paying attention to what is happening in the science and what is happening in the spirituality field, and understanding both, and they're part of our lives, right? Understanding both and bringing them together is really important. So you cannot really dismiss either of them, or you cannot be without them. So hopefully it makes some sense to you. I will talk to you again. Thank you. Bye bye.